Cześć kochani! Witam serdecznie w części drugiej z historii Yae Miko. Przypominam też Wam, że są bardzo ważne ogłoszenia na zakładce społeczność, więc przeczytajcie je. No i cóż, nie przedłużam, zaczynamy!
Miko, we're here. So what's your plan of action to deal with this rival book?
Why don't you take a guess? I'll give you a hint. It's to do with the YumiYT publishing house.
Oh, Paimon knows! Combine the reputation of the YumiYT publishing house with the status of Guji Yae and tell everyone that the incantations in that book are dangerous!
Oh, wow! Your first guess and you got it absolutely...
No ona nie może tak zrobić, bo biorąc pod uwagę, że to jest konkurencyjna książka, to będzie problem z jej reputacją, biznesem i wszystkim.
Seriously? That wasn't it?
A first-hand guide to summoning spirits is the hottest light novel right now. If we did as you suggested, we would effectively be advertising to everyone that the incantations are real. In bending over backwards trying to warn everyone about the dangers, all we would accomplish is to create more curious readers ready to try them out. Also, sales for the book would only increase further.
Okay, yeah, that would be pretty catastrophic. Oh, how about we confiscate all the copies?
To nic nie da.
Leaving aside the issue of the enormous manpower and resources such an operation would require, going to such lengths over a light novel would be extremely disruptive to the lives of Inazumans.
But that means there's nothing we can do.
Well, I've been thinking. I've read a first-hand guide to summoning spirits. It has many other good qualities besides the incantations alone. The book contains many ancient kaiden, or tales of the supernatural, and is written in a very engaging way. That is why the book has become so popular. I think we're going to have a difficult time trying to rein in its popularity while it's the only work in its league on the market.
Wait, so you mean...
That's right. How do you get rid of the next big thing? You replace it with the next big thing. So what we're going to do is create Inazuma's newest hit novel. Smash our rival's sales numbers and win our readers back. That is how Yae Miko wages war. Incidentally, this will also be the best way to combat the influence of a first-hand guide to summoning spirits.
Wait, Miko, so you want us to write a novel?
Can I really do that?
Well, becoming an accomplished novelist certainly isn't an overnight process. But let's not forget that I am the chief editor of the YumiYT publishing house. I have my ways. I did say this is what we're going to do. I trust that the word teamwork is in your vocabulary. Anyway, there is a writer submission event going on at the moment. Start by talking to readers and finding out what they're into. When you have an idea of what the current trends are, come back and see me. I'll be at Uyu Restaurant. Find me there when you're done. I will assemble a team, and we can work while we eat.
Czyli w sumie w pewnym sensie, jak zwykle, wysługują się nami, ale okej, porozmawiamy, dowiemy się jakie są trendy, chociaż już parę rzeczy obstawiam. Jeśli nie robiliście, nie oglądaliście ani nic z tych rzeczy, nie mieliście do czynienia z właśnie tym questem, obstawiajcie w sekcji komentarzy. Aha, czyli to w tym stylu, no ale to tak, to też fakt. Ogólnie powinno się lekko czytać. Powinno być ciekawe, niedomówienie co rozdział.
There's a saying that light novels are essentially a case of buy art, get words free. I'd agree with that. Too bad most of the top artists have jam-packed schedules, so it's extremely difficult to commission them. The illustrations in A First-Hand Guide to Summoning Spirits are incredible, but it's unlike any art style I've ever seen before.
I've been reading light novels for a long time now. I'm mainly into big, ambitious fantasy works with an original core concept and good storytelling. These days, though, everyone seems to be imitating each other. Most of the time, I can guess what the story is about just from the title. The only recent book worth mentioning is A First-Hand Guide to Summoning
Czyli nasz
Spirits.
konkurent.
Not only is it a good story, but the descriptions are really true to life. So much so that I'm almost wondering if maybe the author really has met all those yokai before.
I'll be honest, I read light novels for the cheap thrills. In most traditional stories, the protagonist usually has this long and drawn-out character arc, usually involving a process of separation, loss, and ultimately growth and renewed strength. It reads well and everything, it's just a little slow-paced for me. By contrast, there's this popular light novel at the moment called A First-Hand Guide to Summoning Spirits, where the protagonist is super strong right from the get-go. That's what I mean by cheap thrills. Action-packed right from page 1. The protagonist is a kitsune who has not only mastered the secret art of incantations, but also tea ceremony, painting, and calligraphy.
There's much more to light novels than Paimon realized.
No powiem wam, że nie do końca tego się spodziewałam. Jestem ciekawa, czy naszym artystą będzie Albedo. Czy nie ma na to szans? Zobaczymy.
There you are. Let me introduce the team. You've already met Junkichi and Shigeru. Shigeru is an experienced editor, and Junkichi is the author he's partnered with. Junkichi's working through a creative lull at the moment, but all his past works have been very popular with young people. He's developed a distinct and enduringly popular style. Satomi is Yae Publishing House's ace in the hole. Her specialty is that she can write all kinds of completely different stories and all under different pen names. As for what those names are, well, that's a trade secret. They will be teaming up with us to collectively create the novel that knocks A First-Hand Guide to Summoning Spirits off its perch. So, feeling better about my plan now?
Uh-huh. It definitely makes sense.
Now then, tell me what you found out about readers' preferences. All very true. An original core concept, a fast pace, quality illustrations, and lots of action. This is the formula that will guarantee good sales numbers. More importantly than that, even though it's a work of fiction, we have to deliver a sense of realism.
Paimon followed pretty much all of that, but there's still one question. What are we actually gonna write about?
Czyżby o nas?
For example, we know we need an original core concept, but how do we come up with one?
Before you can answer that question, you have to understand your target audience. Take A First-Hand Guide to Summoning Spirits, for example. When I read it, all I find is common knowledge to the kitsune, but to the general public, it's bursting with new and interesting ideas. It all comes down to the size of the information gap between author and reader. As a traveler, there must be a great many things you know that are complete unknowns to the people of Inazuma. What is commonplace to you may be fresh and original to them.
Oh, right! So maybe we can take inspiration from our time in Mondstadt and Lilith. But that would make it a completely different genre than A First-Hand Guide to Summoning Spirits. Is that gonna be a problem?
Not at all. You don't have to worry so much about how to compete with that book. All you have to do is provide some interesting ideas based on your travel experiences. As long as the core content is interesting, my expert team here will be able to flesh out the details.
Alright, let's start with chapter 1 then. What are you thinking?
The Dragon and the Grand Adventure.
That sounds like a great one! Let's see here. The protagonist arrives in Mondstadt for the first time to the sight of a dragon flying around and wreaking havoc on the city. With the help of some trusty companions, the protagonist successfully defeats the dragon. But then, the dragon suddenly turns into a beautiful young woman. Human, let us work together to build a better future. The love story between human and dragon begins today? Well, that was an unexpected development. What happened to the
Co za mina? The Grand Adventure is just the protagonist's name.
What? But that's so misleading.
Out of a maximum of 10 points, I'd give that a 9. The story
Ja
certainly
bym
goes in
dała
an
temu
unorthodox direction,
7.
and the
Może
dragon
nawet
girl
6.
sounds destined to be a hit character. Approved.
What the heck?
Good job, little one. You're not only drawing on your own experiences, but it seems you're filtering them through the lens of the kinds of light novels you've read in the past. I think you really understand what we're trying to do here. Thoughts from the experts? Are we able to work with this general framework to make an interesting story?
Yeah, we think it works. I tend to overcomplicate the core concept if I'm not careful, so this deals with that problem.
That's good. Okay, we're done with chapter 1. Let's move on to chapter 2.
Won't that do for now?
Readers will devour your content a lot more quickly than you'd think. If we don't keep delivering the goods now we've caught their attention, all our hard work so far is in vain. Hurry, chapter 2, let's go. Can't you see that Satomi is waiting?
What's wrong with you? You don't look so good.
I can't think of any more stories.
What a pity. I thought your beginner's luck would carry you a little further before it came to this. But alas, the time has come prematurely.
Before it came to what? What's happened?
The bane of our existence, writer's block. It's your arch nemesis for life, appearing without warning and inflicting a pain worse than death upon the writer. They sell their souls just to get their muse back.
Powiem wam szczerze, że taka blokada nie jest tylko pisarza jako pisarza książek, ale również jeśli na przykład piszecie jakieś teksty do piosenek, na przykład ja piszę, ale tak wiecie, prywatnie, nie że profesjonalnie czy coś. Tak samo nawet w sumie można porównać YouTube'a i live'y. Czasem mam mnóstwo pomysłów i mnóstwo rzeczy do roboty. Czasem jest taka blokada, bo coś tutaj by się sprawdziło, ale nie wiesz czy wyjdzie, to masz wrażenie, że już ktoś zrobił itp. itd. Więc jeśli macie jakieś requesty, czy na odcinki, czy na live'y, zawsze też możecie zostawiać je w komentarzach. Mam nadzieję, że o tym wiecie.
When this happens, the best thing you can do is have a bite to eat and take a proper break. Boss, get me a
Zgadzam
plate
się.
of fried tofu and get some kushikatsu for these two. Just the basic kind will do. Don't worry, this is my treat.
Your treat? Oh, wait a minute. Miko, we'll be getting paid for all the hard work we're doing, right?
Of course, everyone that takes part in the creative process will be paid.
Alright, cool. Then let's press on, shall we? Don't give up now. For the sake of our paycheck, get your brain going!
Paycheck. Speaking of Mora.
Oh, does this mean your inspirations come back?
Take a trip to Lille. Tell our guide turned out to be Rex Lapix.
of the Qixing and the protection of the Adepti, I am free to roam this vast realm. Is this the kind of cheap thrill that guy was talking about?
I give it a 9.8. The story is fun and action.
Akurat tej historii w pewnym sensie najbardziej nie lubię, bo nie przepadam za żonglim jako osobą. Ojej.
I for one think there's a sizable market for this. Approved.
Alright, well, let's just hope Zhongli doesn't mind.
Great. Well, now Satomi can get started on that.
Leave it to me, Lady Yae.
Let's write about Inazuma in the 3rd chapter, shall we? I can help with this one. We can use the Vision Hunt Decree or your experience in the Resistance. Any ideas?
Stop this, come on, let's get rid of this Vision Hand Decree.
Clearly very closely based on your own personal experience, with no major changes at all.
Well, I'm running low on
That's
inspiration.
fine. Since it's something that took place in Inazuma, it might actually be more interesting to readers if it's grounded in the truth. One thing though, we'll need to rewrite the part about me giving you the Omamori. Let's change it to... The mysterious Lady Kitsune teaches the protagonist a spell that can make their wishes come true. The protagonist uses this spell to defeat the Raiden Shogun in battle. That should do the trick.
Whoa, so we're really going head-to-head with our rival on this one, huh?
I suppose so. Once they're done writing the manuscript, I'll write the passage where the protagonist recites the incantation myself.
Are we done then? Do you really think this will be able to beat a first-hand guide to summoning spirits?
The content is fine. Now we just need to promote it. I will contact an artist to make some illustrations. I'm positive they will be at least as good as those in A First-Hand Guide to Summoning Spirits. We'll also need an endorsement on a paper band around the book. I can get the wonderful Ms. Hina to write that. She runs a regular Q&A column in That's Life magazine. The people of Inazuma absolutely adore her. You're free to take a break while the creative team is doing their work, but please go by the Yae Publishing House at some point to commission Ms. Hina for that recommendation. Once our light novel is complete, let's meet at the writer's submission event.
No cóż, wychodzi na to, że opisaliśmy w zasadzie wszelkie nasze przygody. W takim razie jestem ciekawa, jaką opcję mielibyśmy, gdyby to było Sumeru. Dajcie znać, co wy obstawiacie i jeśli znacie jakieś szczegóły odnośnie historii. No i cóż, kontynuujemy.
Miss Hina doesn't usually do endorsements, but since it's Lady Guji that's asking, we'll see what we can do. With Miss Hina getting so popular lately, a lot of people have come to us hoping to do a collaboration. But Miss Hina's not interested in any of it. She still prefers to focus all her efforts on replying to readers' letters, and turns down every promotional opportunity she can. Maybe that's why her fans like her so much. I'm getting off topic here. Anyway, if we can get that endorsement from Miss Hina, you'll definitely get an exposure boost at the beginning. May your light novel sell well and set a new record for the Yae Publishing House.
We'll do our best.
No to teraz pytanie, jak ją przekonać? Zaraz się dowiemy.
Time to go.
Are you sure you'd like to submit this entry? Let me see. The Miraculous Adventures of the Traveler by Thousand Hands.
What a strange pen name. Definitely your doing. Having been around you so much recently, Paimon's slowly starting to understand your unique tastes.
What do you mean, strange? It took a lot of work by a lot of different people to get this thing finished. Don't you think it's a very descriptive pen name?
We'll get this printed as a matter of priority and conduct trial sales in pilot locations throughout Inazuma. I'll announce the sales numbers in 3 days.
Uh-oh. Paimon's getting
We had a top-notch team.
That's right. Be confident in your work. That's exactly how a light novelist should be.
Okay, then I'll sign you up. Please come back in 3 days for the results. Thank you all for your submission. I wish you the very best of luck.
No i cóż, teraz mamy czekać przez 3 dni, więc oczywiście przewiniemy ten czas, żebyście nie musieli czekać.
You've all finally made it. Good news, everyone. I just received word that your light novel is flying off the shelves. Multiple sales locations are asking when we'll be printing more copies.
Woohoo! That's great!
This level of success is an amazing accomplishment for a new work. Most new books don't sell 30% of what you've sold. I have free copies for each of you here. Please take them. The payment will follow shortly, and I'll notify you to come and collect it when the time comes.
This is all great, but...
Oh yeah! The whole reason why we made this light novel was to combat the influence of a first-hand guide to summoning spirits. We sold a lot of copies, but it doesn't feel like we accomplished our goal. How do we know whether it worked?
Oh, don't worry. The change is already underway. Shh. Listen to what the people around us are talking about. The conversation has already moved on, hasn't it?
Hey guys, have you heard about this latest Kaidan thing doing the rounds? You just need to recite the incantation from A First-Hand Guide to Summoning Spirits at Midnight, and your wish will come true!
Oh, that? That's a throwback. That's old news, man. No one's talking about that anymore. The Secret Spells of Lady Kitsune is the new hit thing. I've already memorized all the incantations.
The Secret Spells of Lady Kitsune? What's that?
You haven't read it yet? Okay, so supposedly, if you recite the spell in there on a moonless night, you'll receive protection of the Kitsune and all the other powerful yokai. They can make any of your wishes come true. I heard that the incantations in A First-Hand Guide to Summoning Spirits have weird side effects. This one guy wished for a load of Mora and got it, but then one night it all turned to leaves and he developed a high fever. They actually had to use one of the secret spells of Lady Kitsune to get rid of the discomfort. That proves that the incantations in this book are more potent than the ones everyone was trying before.
Serio,
Pretty much
ludzie,
everyone I know
serio.
is desperate to try it out. Just waiting for a moonless night.
Really? Well, I better go and prepare too.
Well, feeling less worried now?
Wow! You're right! Everyone's shifting focus!
Dlatego tak ciężko czuć się cenionym twórcą. Słuchajcie, ja nie mam nic przeciwko, że oglądacie inne osóbki, czy subskrybujecie, czy cokolwiek tego typu, ale czasem byłoby miło, jakbyście się przywitali w sekcji komentarzy, by pokazać, że o mnie nie zapomnieliście, nie ukrywam.
Hyman doesn't remember that detail from the brainstorming session.
This is something that will become very important to us further down the line. All right, it's time to move on to the next phase of the plan.
There's a phase 2?
Of course. Behind every book that hits the market lies an author, right?
Oh yeah, if we leave him to his own devices, he might just write another guide to summoning spirits! Also, we still need to figure out what his motive for writing it was!
Exactly. That's what we need to take care of next. Fortunately, I've already managed to identify the author. He's a failed light novelist named Tomoyuki. But when we went to ask him about it, he had no recollection whatsoever of having written the book.
Wait, so does this mean...
Yes, this is another case of possession. Only this time, whoever possessed him actively sought him out. After his novel submission failed, he was walking aimlessly in Araumi. In frustration, he shouted out, "Please, someone, anyone, help me write a truly amazing novel!" After that, he lost consciousness.
But the spirit that wrote the book has already left him now, right? So what are we supposed to do?
Simple. It wrote a summoning incantation in the book, didn't it? So we can just use its own method to make it manifest itself. And you, my little friend, are the perfect candidate for this role.
Is it too late for me to back out?
Oh, what are you talking about? The fun's just about to begin.
No nie wiem, czy będzie tak fajnie. Nie ukrywam, że ogólnie myślałam, że już tutaj będzie koniec questa, a jeszcze będzie przyzywanie. Aczkolwiek otrzymaliśmy dość fajny item, który chciałabym wam pokazać. The Miraculous Adventurers of the Traveler. I jak widzicie, mamy Paimon na okładce. No i cóż, idziemy w takim razie do tego miejsca i staniemy się prawdopodobnie opętani przez jakiegoś ducha czy kogokolwiek odpowiedzialnego za tą całą sytuację. Mam nadzieję, że ja jednak nie zostawi nas z tym problemem samych.
Miko, what is this place?
The ideal spot for a little meet and greet with a certain elusive author. This is the place where we are most likely to succeed in summoning the spirit.
Really? But it feels so eerie here.
That seems rather fitting, considering that we are dealing with the spirits of the deceased here. What are you so afraid of, honestly? We're finally about to meet the true author of a first-hand guide to summoning spirits. Aren't you excited?
Paimon's heart is pounding, but Paimon's pretty sure it's not because of excitement.
Come on, in we go.
Hey, wait up!
No cóż.
Paimon's scared. Stay close by, okay? Don't leave Paimon all alone.
Spokojnie, Paimon. Nie pozwolę ci się stać emergency food. A przynajmniej nie teraz. No i cóż, idziemy. W końcu jakaś akcja. Będę mogła pograć ja, Miko! Miko, Miko, Miko! Miko, Miko, Miko! Lecimy.
What a weird painting. Miko, do you know what it's supposed to show?
Probably a scene from ancient Inazuma.
It's a good piece of artwork and all, but it's also kinda eerie. So it's a bit scary. Looks like the artist signed their name. Rakuzai? It's not very clear.
Let's go inside and take a look. Right here. Emerge.
How's this?
Right here.
More!
The wind knows me.
Fall before me!
Eyes on me!
Right now. Emerge.
Yeah.
Okej, pierwsza skrzynka odblokowana. Ale no nie ukrywajmy, nie jest to jakaś ekscytująca skrzyneczka.
This place is huge. Hey, is that a mirror? There's a really weird looking stool as well. Wonder what it's for.
Ah,
Może,
I
żeby
see.
tutaj w krwawą merę, czy jak to tam było się bawić?
Saves me a lot of work. All right, go and take a look around.
Albo i nie.
There should be a mechanism somewhere that makes the whole room move. Right here, emerge.
Podoba mi się jej machanie różdżką. Ale powiem wam, że póki co to w sumie nie jestem pewna, czy na pewno ją chcę.
Right here.
Jakoś jakoś jak robiłam triala, wydawała się zdecydowanie fajniejsza jak wyszła. Niż tak jak teraz sobie nią gram. Dajcie znać, czy macie właśnie ja, czy często korzystacie, czy raczej odradzacie losowanko.
Emerge, right here.
Teamwork is dreamwork. Let's light it.
A sight to behold. Dear me.
Niby ult jest bardzo fajny, ale z drugiej strony właśnie mi padła. Jakie dlaczego? Sama nie wiem, w jakimś rogu zapędzonym byłam i wyjść teraz nie mogę. Spróbujmy podlecieć. Halo! No nie mówcie, że utknęłam. O, dobra, udało się. Taki talent to tylko ja mam pewnie. No i cóż, wracamy w takim razie na górę. Tak, wracamy na górę, Shiva. Czyżby teraz tam? No właśnie, teraz pytanie, który poziom?
Nice and spicy.
Right now. Emerge.
Pytanie, gdzie jest ten kolejny mechanizm? Jak się tam dostać? No bo tutaj mamy jakąś platformę i jest skrzynka. Ale nie ma przejść. O! Okej. Nieważne. Czy tu też mamy jakieś move? Tak. Okej.
Show them. Right now.
Zawsze trzeba wykorzystać jakieś darmowe jedzonko, bo nie trzeba później chodzić po świecie, zbierać, a przynajmniej ja mam takie do tego podejście. Dajcie mi znać, czy też tak robicie. No i powinniśmy być w stanie gdzieś jeszcze chyba przesunąć ścianę, jeśli chodzi o dostanie się do tej skrzynki. Chyba że coś nakićkałam. Tu skrzynki nie ma. Okej, mamy chyba to. O ile to była tamta. A tu jeszcze coś jest. O, to ta była, dobra. I teraz w dół. Ja w zasadzie mam wrażenie, że wróciliśmy do punktu wyjścia. Nie wiem, czemu w ogóle mamy 0/4. A, dobra. Teraz mamy je aktywować, no to wychodzi. Albo mieliśmy je od początku aktywować i to przegapiłam. Tylko gdzie była ta czwarta? Jak zwykle coś pogubiłam, no. Lampo, lampo, gdzie jesteś? Halo? Zgubiłam lampę. Lampę Aladyna. W ogóle lubicie tą bajkę Aladdin? Dajcie znać. Ale znalazłam skrzynkę dzięki temu, że się tu pogubiłam. Nie ma tego złego, co by na dobre nie wyszło, jak to niektórzy mówią.
Nothing lasts forever.
Zbugowałam jej tego i przez chwilę było widać jej ogonek. Ale fajnie. Shiva! Nie bądź wredna dzisiaj. Snaka na live dostała. I co? I teraz liczy na kolejnego, czy co? Że mi tak marudzi. No dobra, ale to wszystko zrobiłam, ale dalej nie widzę tej lampy. No bo mamy tak, raz, dwa, trzy. Czekajcie, wszystkie 4 są. To co ja szukałam lampy? Nie wiem. Najważniejsze, że zdobyłam chyba wszystkie skrzynki.
Whoa. It's that painting we just saw. It's turning this way along with the whole wall. It's getting eerier and scarier. What is this place?
Okay.
Biedna Paimon się
Next, I
tak
will show
boi.
you a secret kitsune spell. This painting is a swift summoning medium, which means I'll be able to skip many of the more tedious steps. The murky mirror reflects the view of Inazuma in a bygone age. Spirits stirred by the sight of the past will be easily drawn to it. You're up next, little one. Come on, sit yourself down here.
Surely you're not planning to...
Yes. The whole point of a summoning ritual is for a dead person's spirit to possess a living person's body. You saw what happened to that Oni samurai spirit. After leaving the host's body, he was only able to maintain his form for a very short time before disappearing.
Are we positive that summoning a spirit to possess the traveler isn't gonna have any lasting negative consequences?
Oh, you really care about the little one quite a lot, don't you? I'm a little jealous. I wish my friends were caring like that. Anyway, are you scared, little friend? Don't you worry now, it'll be over soon. Just think of it like having a dream.
What do I need to do?
Sit on the chair, stare at the painting, and relax your body and mind. Try and be natural. There's really no need to be nervous.
It's like she's sitting inside the painting. Huh? Is Paimon saying things? Did the painting just move?
Recite the incantation in your heart, little one. Also, you'll need to have some intense thoughts going through your head. A wish, for example. Now, what kind of wish do we think it would take to summon forth the author of A First-Hand Guide to Summoning Spirits? Anyone?
Probably something to do with writing?
Very good. The wish needs to be heartfelt, though, so let me help add a little realism to the equation. The book is selling exceptionally well, Traveler, but we're going to need an outline for Chapter 4 as soon as humanly possible. When is the earliest that you can turn it in by?
Help me write chapter 4.
It's moving again! What the?
Trochę taki efekt jak maska Xiao w sumie można by było powiedzieć.
I never thought the day would come when I'd be summoned using my own ritual. Getting a taste of my own medicine. What have we here? Another budding writer? What's come over you all? Why is everyone wishing for help with their writing? Are novels so popular in this day and age?
We got you! So you're the one who wrote a first-hand guide to summoning spirits! What are you trying to do, Why'd you put that summoning incantation in the book, huh? What's your game here?
Huh? What's this? Oh, I see. No wonder this felt so familiar. I've walked right into your trap, haven't I? You ask me what my game is here? Well, of course. It was to use this incantation as a means for all the souls of the departed yokai to make their glorious return to the world and plunge all of Inazuma into a brutal, bloody war.
What? Paimon knew it! You had an evil plan all along!
Oh, did you now? Then how naive of you to let me possess this body so easily. I sense, yes, great power within her. Good. Good! With this power, no one shall be able to stand in my way.
Wake up! Quick! Wake up! We gotta stop him!
It is futile. You shall never wake her again. This body now belongs to me!
Hey! Come on, wake up! Don't let him take your mind! Miko, think of something! Miko! You're laughing?
Oh, Rakusai, you haven't changed a bit. You caught on so quickly. Too perfect.
Well, you made the face enough times that I couldn't exactly miss the hint. This is what you were going for, yes? Never one to stand on the sidelines of a good spectacle, are you? Always got to dive in and fan the flames, ah, you mischievous little kitsune, you. Look what you've done to this little flying one here. Oh, poor thing scared witless.
You were having plenty of fun playing the bad guy a moment ago. Now you're trying to blame it all on me?
Rakusai? Miko, you guys know each other?
Yes, we do. Of course we do.
Allow me to formally introduce the author of A First-Hand Guide to Summoning Spirits, Urakusai. No, wait. To be more accurate, it's Urakusai's memory.
Memory? But isn't he a spirit?
Ah, spirits, memories. They're just different words to describe the same thing. Something that comes from the ley lines.
Do you remember that recent incident when the Rift Hounds were gnawing at the sacred Sakura's roots? You witnessed human memories leaking from the ley lines, didn't you? Well, since there are human memories, of course there are going to be yokai memories too. In life, yokai possess supernatural powers, and even when they are a shadow of their former selves from a bygone era, they still have the ability to control whether they are visible or not. Typically, yokai memories survive longer in the world than those of humans.
Indeed, indeed. I was wandering around the sacred Sakura's roots when I suddenly heard someone yelling, "Please, someone, anyone, help me write a truly amazing novel." It piqued my curiosity, so I popped inside his body and wrote a novel for him.
Czyli co, nie jest wcale złośliwy?
But why did you include a summoning incantation in the novel?
Oh, little one. Not to toot my own horn here, but when I was alive, I wasn't just another kitsune, no. I was a mighty and powerful Daiyoko. The memories of other yokai can't possess human bodies at will like I can. But with this incantation, they can go one last little joyride in the world for a couple of days. Anything they're still itching to do, they can go and get it done.
But...
She's trying to say that all the commotion this causes is likely to be a great disturbance to the humans.
Disturbance? I guess you mean that we might leave them with some broken dreams after we leave, hmm? Oh, yes. And they might have a fever or whatever. But you know, I actually think that the most admirable thing about human beings is the way that they go out and shape their fate with their own two hands, given that they're not born blessed with the same powers that we enjoy. As for those who would rather draw on external power than seek to improve themselves, it's quite right that they learn their lesson eventually. So when you think about it, we're actually doing the humans a big favor. Miko, you agree, don't you?
Yes, that's what I thought too.
Chyba raczej nie.
Convinced, Paimon. You guys were right.
What are you scared of, little one? Don't be deceived by her day-to-day antics. Miko is actually one of the most powerful yokai out there.
Not only that, Irakusai, but my latest work has beaten that book you wrote, A First-Hand Guide to Summoning Spirits, to become the most popular in Inazuma.
Of course. You were never one to make extra work for yourself where you can help. And yet you went to all these lengths to find my painting room, and even took the trouble to summon me. I knew you must have some ulterior motive. You were always the one to pick a quarrel with me when we all used to gather around and share stories. All right. You win, I lose. Happy now?
I finally get to hear you say it centuries later. Ooh, I must say it feels good.
I remember when you were just a little girl, always hanging off my shoulders. A few hundred years later, and you're all grown up.
Oh, Urakusai, how much time do you have left?
Not much. That goes for all of us, actually. We've all got to go back where we came from in the end. Everyone's quite content in many ways, but they still can't help but ask, are we ever going to have another Hyakyako?
Don't you worry about that, Urakusai. Arrangements are being made. When my bell rings, it means the moonless night is upon us.
Great. Wonderful. Fantastic. Miko, it's been nice catching up, but I'd better conserve my energy if I want to stick it out until then. So, I'll be on my way now.
All right. Goodbye then, Urakusai.
One last thing, Miko. I just want to know, have you been well all these years?
I've been great, of course. Every day is a happy one. Especially these days. Not only do I have my light novels, but I've also met these two delightfully nosy outlanders. And even A is finally starting to come to her senses. Quite a miracle given how pig-headed she can be.
Oh, well, great. That's fantastic.
Urakusai, you'd be right at home in this era. A great storyteller and artist like yourself would be the Yae Publishing House's ace in the hole. And I would personally be hounding you over your next installment.
He disappeared. Are you awake? How are you feeling?
Are you all there? Here, like last time, repeat after me.
3, 2, 1.
Oh, you beat me to it. Looks like your brain is intact. So, your first possession, what was it like?
I remember everything pretty clearly.
Good. Saves me from having to explain everything again. Hearing Urakusai admit defeat has put me in the most wonderful mood. In return, it's only fair that we make sure to deliver on what they're all hoping for.
You mean the moonless night?
Yes, though they only represent a tiny proportion of the memories in the ley lines, it will still be quite a sight to behold when the time comes. Since you've come this far, why don't you do one last thing for me, I'll need your help with the ritual.
You cannot be serious, Miko. After all that, you still have more errands for us?
Gdzie nasza mora?
You teamed up to scare Paimon just now. If you think Paimon's gonna do anything you ask for, think again!
Jaka
Come on.
oburzona.
I'm really only asking you to finish what you started. Besides, your paychecks are still in my hands.
Miko. My paycheck!
Well, there's no way out now. We're in too deep.
Ajajaj. No i cóż, teraz chyba mamy koniec końców iść, żeby zrobić rytuał, no i myślę, że to będzie już tyle. Zaraz się okaże.
Well, hello there, my little helpers. So nice of you to join me. You're right on time, too.
As if we had a choice. We just want our paychecks. So, Miko, what exactly do we have to do to make this Hyakyako happen? Also, to be clear, we actually have no idea what it even means.
It might sound ominous, but to put it simply, the Hyakyako is just a gathering of the yokai. Back in the day at yokai gatherings, once everyone had had plenty to drink, one by one they'd start soaring into the sky with their yokai powers. There were so many of them that their silhouettes would block out the moon. But now, the yokai memories that leak from the ley lines are weak. They are no longer able to fly. So I will be performing a convocation ritual for them, gathering all the wandering memories together in one place. When the time comes, they will gather in the sky above the Grand Narukami Shrine. Once their energy is spent, they will be satisfied and return to where they belong.
I see, I understand.
All the preparations for the ritual have actually been made well in advance. Remember the incantation and the mention of moonless night that I added to our novel?
Oh yeah! Something about reciting the secret spells of Lady Kitsune on a moonless night.
That's the one. Actually, it's not a wish-granting incantation at all. It's a spell to help calm the ley line memories. When that time comes, let's all pitch in and help send them on their way.
What do you need from me?
I will start the ritual preparations shortly, and at that time, I need you to do two things. First, tell the shrine maidens to leave the mountain. During the Hyakyako, a whole swarm of yokai memories will be hanging around in the air above the Grand Narukami Shrine. Having the shrine maidens leave avoids the bothersome issue of someone potentially getting possessed. After that, I will commence the ritual, and the memories will begin to congregate. This will take some time. I need you at the foot of Mount Yogo during this part to keep an eye on nearby monster activity. The memories are normally dispersed and don't pose a threat, but when their energy is concentrated, it is likely to disturb the monsters. They may see this as an opportunity to try and make it up the mountain. I need you to fend them off so that that doesn't happen.
Alright, got it. Then what?
Well, if at that point you felt like coming to the shrine and getting a close-up view of the yokai, I wouldn't say no.
Okay, let's get going.
Descend the mountain? Are those Lady Kuji's orders?
Yep, Miko said the ritual she's gonna perform soon might pose a physical danger to you all.
I see. I'll evacuate everyone right away. What about you?
We'll be taking care of a couple other things for her. And once we're done with that, we're gonna come back and do the ritual together.
Because we want to make sure she's safe too.
It seems like Lady Kuji places great trust in you. Lady Kuji's never allowed anyone else to be in her presence when she's conducted rituals like this in the past. Thank you for helping with the ritual, and good luck.
Don't worry, we're much stronger than luck. Miko's about to start the ritual. Come on, let's go deal with the monsters down the mountain.
No cóż, chwila pewnie walki, wrócimy, będzie rytuał. Zobaczymy, czy ten rytuał będzie w formie takiej a la cutscenki, czy również to będą bardziej dialogi. Tego jestem ciekawa. Wydaje mi się, że biorąc pod uwagę, jak większość story questów wygląda, raczej powinna to być cutscenka, ale nigdy nie wiadomo. Put.
These monsters look really riled up.
Let's get rid of them for Miko.
Yep, let's get rid of them as fast as we can. Then we can get back in time to see the yokai. All right, here they come.
W międzyczasie, kochani, chciałabym wykorzystać ten czas, żeby przypomnieć wam, że live'y teraz przeszły na Twitcha. Link oczywiście macie w opisie. Oprócz tego mam nowy kanał YouTube Shorts, gdzie wrzucam wam shorty, czyli takie krótkie filmiki, bardzo podobne do tego, jak to wygląda na TikToku. Również link w opisie, gdybyście byli zainteresowani. No i cóż, czy to już ostatnie tutaj potwory?
There's so many of them. Come on, you can do it.
Power that ended Python!
All right, that's the last of the monsters.
Czyli miałam rację, że historia... Znaczy cutscenka w sensie.
So many. They're everywhere.
Yes, the memories of the yokai. They haven't been able to relax and soar through the air like this for a long time. Come with me. You all right, little one? You look a little nervous.
It's just, Hyman's never seen anything like this before. Whoa, they've really blocked out the moon.
It does look a little intimidating, doesn't it? But I know them. They may be loud and brash at times, but they are good and brave souls. Even after losing their lives in a brutal war, they have never given in to grief or despair. Alas, their time is short.
Do they really have to go?
It's a feast, and all feasts come to an end. Since you're sorry to see them leave, why don't you do the recital along with me? O Hakushin, cause of this enchantment, in reverence I perform this rite.
In reverence, I perform this rite.
To be a guiding light.
Huh? Wow, so beautiful! Look! Lights are coming from Inazuma City!
The book says, recite the secret spells of Lady Kitsune tonight, and our wishes will come true.
Czyli wszyscy pomogą w tym.
O Hakushin, cause of this enchantment.
I perform this rite to be a guiding light. Your unrivaled power will be honored eternally.
Sakusai. You asked if I was doing well. Really, every day is a happy day for me. But watching you all leave now, I can't help but feel a little lonely. Just a little, of course. Just as I thought. The ritual went very smoothly. Thank you both.
Miko, are you alright?
Oh, I'm great.
But the look on your face just now...
I'm fine, seriously. Really, honestly, you two.
Chcesz Haga?
Fine. Well, if you're dead set on doing something for me, you can treat me to a meal.
A gdzie nasza Mura? Czemu mamy ci jeszcze stawiać? A meal, it's a deal.
Okay.
Huh.
Well, see you soon then.
I pomyśleć, że myślałam, że już koniec questa. Wychodzi na to, że chyba w takim razie źle rozdzieliłam czas. Według tego, co patrzyłam, wydawało się, jesteśmy mniej więcej w połowie questa i nie spodziewałam się, że te fragmenty będą aż tak długie. No cóż. Biedna Paimon, przerywam jej, ale to nie moja wina, że gra została tak stworzona.
Wait is unbearable. How is the next chapter of the miraculous adventures of the traveler not released yet?
It was quite a surprise when the moonless night finally came.
Yeah, that huge black cloud over Mount Yogo that night. It just seemed to form out of nowhere.
But then nothing happened after I made a wish using the method in that book.
Yeah. I guess light novels are just fiction after all, huh?
That night was definitely the nail in the coffin for the incantations from novels fad. Still, something tells me the miraculous adventures of the traveler will remain an interesting series for a long time to come.
Huh? Paimon can't see Miko anywhere. Guess she's not out here. Maybe she went inside already. Let's head in and look for her.
My little friends. There you are.
Miko, what is this? You started eating without us?
No właśnie, tłumacz się.
I did, yes. You're paying after all. The thought of being able to eat the most expensive dishes and drink the finest sake, all for absolutely free? Oh, I just couldn't wait any longer. Boss, see these two faces here? Remember them. They're the ones picking up the bill later.
Alrighty.
What's gotten into you? Come on, sit yourselves down. You have to try this fish. It's found exclusively in the waters around Seirai Island. They shipped it to Inazuma overnight, and it was still alive right up until I ordered it. Or maybe you'd rather try this? I know. I normally can't bring myself to drink sake this expensive either. If you don't drink alcohol, that's fine too. There are all kinds of fruit juices covering the whole price spectrum.
Miko! You are outrageous! Last time we were here working on a novel, all you ordered for us was the plainest kushikatsu!
Strange. I remember no such thing.
Kushikatsu and fried tofu, that was it.
Oh, so what? You did offer to treat me to a meal, didn't you? Anyway, I am something of a VIP, you know. Wouldn't you find it embarrassing to treat me anything short of lavishly?
Miko, this meal is going to be super expensive! Aren't you afraid we won't be able to afford it?
Oh, don't you worry about that. You can most definitely afford it. They're still printing your light novel by the batch, you know. You have quite the generous payment due.
What?
shouldn't have let our guide down.
Oh, the looks on your faces right now. Too perfect. Oh, by the way, since nobody's wishes came true on the moonless night, novels with incantations are no longer in vogue. So you'll have to come up with something new for the next chapter of The Miraculous Adventures of the Traveler. The deadline is looming. I'm counting on you.
No cóż, powiem tak, quest zakończony, ale oj Miko, wpakowałaś nas w tarapaty. Teoretycznie niby dostaliśmy morę, ale praktycznie jej nie dostaliśmy, bo dostaliśmy zakończenie questa. Jeszcze chciałaś nas naciągnąć na tak drogi posiłek, nam nie dając nic. Rozczarowałaś mnie, a cóż, tymczasem ja mam nadzieję, że Wam odcinek się podobał. Jeśli tak, to koniecznie zostawiajcie kciuki w górę. No i cóż, do zobaczenia wkrótce. Pa, pa!